subscribe to YouTube.
So what I got right now is I have my ruler and I have my piece of paper. And what we're trying to do from that is we're trying to line up our space in the middle of the page, right? And we talked about that in the last video where we did the algebra of it. Now we also know from just doing what we were doing before that we have to find 3, 4 3/4, and 5 1/2, right? So if we're looking at what we've got going on here, I know I need to line up the 0 mark on my ruler because the edge of the ruler is not the 0. And then the other side for our purposes will be 8 1/2 here, right? 3 is super easy to find, and we're just going to set that and then extend that mark up. The other one that's easy to find is the 5 1/2 because that's between which two numbers? Between 5 and 6, right? And you can tell that because it is 5 and 1/2. Right? So, and that's kind of easy because that's halfway between 5 and 6. Now, the next one that gives us a little bit of trouble is that 4 3/4, right? So if we're looking at this right here, we know where 4 1/2 is, right? Is 3/4 bigger or smaller than 1/2?
Smaller.
3/4?
Like, not bigger.
Right, okay.
Right next to 5.
Right, it's right next to the 5. And if we did it that way, we could totally get that going on here too. But I want to look at this space for a minute. And what we're going to do is we're going to imagine this is our ruler right now, and I'm going to show you what we got going on. These long lines are our whole numbers. So we're going to call this, we've already decided that it's between 4 and 5. We're going to call these 4 and 5. Now on this ruler, the next part, between 4 and 5, there's one more line that's almost as long, right? The second longest line here breaks this space into how many places? 2, right? So I got 1 of 2 right here. And then this one is 2 of 2, right? 2 of 2 is the whole. So now the next longest line, then on those rulers, we'll have another one that breaks it into how many spaces? 4, right? So here we have 1 of 4, 2 of 4, which is 1/2, and then we have 3 of 4 right here, right? Now, just to be extra confusing, this one already does it again. So the third longest lines break it into how many pieces? If I just broke those 4 pieces in half, how many? I have 8 now, right? So here is 1 of 8, 2 of 8, 3 of 8, 4 of 8, 5 of 8, and then 7 of 8, right? And then again, just to be confusing, this ruler does it one more time. So how many do I have now? If I just broke all 8 spaces in half.
Bro, it's just double it, bro.
No, either one of you can answer. I don't care which.
16.
16, right? So now we have 16ths. But we only needed to find this 3/4 line. But I'm saying what I'm talking about, though, is that the longest line breaks it into 2 pieces. The second longest line breaks it into 4 pieces. Third longest line breaks it into 8 pieces. And then the tiny, tiny lines are usually 16ths. There are some crazy rulers that will go to 32nds, but we're not going to pay attention to that. So that's how those things go, right? So when we're measuring our paper and we're doing this over again, can you grab me another clean piece of paper? You had found the 4 3/4 on your rulers every time. It's just we have to do it on this piece of paper. So I'm going to line up my 0. I'm going to get to my 8 1/2. I'm going to hit 3, 4 3/4, and then 5 1/2. Got it?